Thank you very much. That was a very beautiful introduction. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, a very good afternoon. I'm sure that, a little bit hungry, you want to eat something, but then before that, let's have, a quick grab of your attention and let's do a great conversation. All right, so my name is Dr. Isha Farha Quraishy. I'm heading Oracle Cloud Infrastructure and AI, and of course I worked with VMware, Dell EMC. I was a practice head for Cloud Infra for a system integrator company, and now with Oracle, also I took an entrepreneur journey as well. So I think our organizer, IFX Expo, thank you very much for inviting me today as a speaker. They chose this topic of, the code and the crown. Definitely, there was a balance in imbalance, and that is exactly how me being a Mrs. Universe 2019 with the crown came with a technology innovation. Well, to introduce myself, Mrs. Universe 2019 Solidarity, the very first candidate to represent UAE at an international pageant. I'm also Mrs. UAE United Nation, but however, it's been 17 years in the industry of technology, which I'm trying to empower the womanhood. Yeah, I think there is some misalignment on the slide, but doesn't matter. However, I'm not going to talk anything about the crown. That is exactly what you may be expecting me to talk about, my childhood journey and so on. I'm sure that every successful leaders that you see today would have gone through challenges. But I'm also not going to talk about my passion or profession, because I follow a theory that be passionate at your profession and be professional at your passion. Today, I'm here to redefine the power. So we always used to think that, crown is a power. I understand you having an authority to control something, that is a crown. Maybe that's a title. Also, the crown which I have indeed gave me access to the ecosystem, to the leadership, to earn the trust and the love. And of course, my voice is heard. I understand. But today, the authority and the power is redefined by technology and innovation. So me being technologist, I do justice to my talk only if I say what is there in it in the technology, right? To redefine the power that we have for the world and each other. So the data is the power. I'm sure that a lot of people would agree to me for this fact. If you look at it, AI is the new electricity. You have quantum computing, which is the new fuel, and data is the new currency. Who's the richest man in the world? The man who owns the data is the richest man in the world, and that is why data is the currency. And of course, infrastructure is the new diplomacy, and that is exactly why the world is now running behind AI revolution and quantum acceleration. Today, AI, people say it's a bubble. It's not a bubble. You have seen only 10 to 20% of its power. The rest of the 80% is indeed hidden. Yeah, you rightly heard that, it's hidden. And then are we ready to accept that AI bombardment that's going to happen in the near future? That's a question again. So I think the terminology which I have written there is not very visible. It was trustable and question mark on the left-hand side, okay? Is AI trustable is the question. Does everybody want to ask or answer the same thing? How many of you believe that AI is trustable? Can you please raise your hands? Nobody, only one person, okay. Thank you, bro. So rest of the crowd believe that AI is not trustable, right? I have to agree to disagree, but end of this conversation, I will ask this question again, but differently, and then you need to answer. I'm not here to convince you. I'm not here to talk any strategies, and I will not lie, okay? So is AI trustable, and what important is your judgment here? So this is going to be a courtroom, and I'm going to put 2 or 3 scenarios here, and you're going to tell me your view about that, okay? Coming to the first scenario, Take an example of an AI in healthcare industry for that matter. Think about AI do a misdiagnosis of a patient. There is an X-ray image which has been diagnosed or misdiagnosed by artificial intelligence, and the patient happened to die. Or if a patient's treatment is delayed, who is responsible? Is AI responsible, or doctor is responsible, or creator of AI is responsible? If anybody believes it's AI responsible, can you please raise your hands? AI is not responsible. But you all said AI is not trustable. Why? So who is responsible? The doctors? The creator of AI? Okay. So this is going to be some of the flash news which is going to happen in the future. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm talking about 1.1 trillion marketplace, which is healthcare, in that the majority of the contribution is coming from the technology. And if you look at United States alone, 12 million misdiagnoses what happening annually, which is causing millions of injuries or permanently injured patients year on year, which is a huge percentage. 12 million is not a small number, guys, right? And hundreds and thousands of death is been reported. It's not me, it's World Health Organization says, because of the misdiagnosis. That is exactly where I feel that artificial intelligence can be an extended intelligence. It's not a replaceable intelligence. I'm talking about augmented intelligence, guys. It should be an extended intelligence to the skull tech. Skull tech is a new terminology, but you will soon understand what is skull tech. Okay, so it should be an extended intelligence, and AI should just stay as a tool to enhance and support your decision making. In a critical scenario where patient is going for cardiac surgery, a critical cardiac surgery, I don't believe that we need to give the decision making to AI. It can only complement, it can actually help you take decisions and mitigate the risk to a greater extent. Now take another scenario. In an emergency scenario, if you are giving the decision making in the hands of AI. Okay, you have a 30 seconds, you're all sitting in the aircraft. This is a second scenario where you have only 30 seconds to take a decision. You need to crash land. You have 200-seater passengers in the back, and you are a captain. And you cannot go through 1,000 pages guide to take a decision in that 30 seconds. And psychologists clearly says that in that pressured situation, we human beings cannot take a decision. You need to give the decision-making capability to AI. How many of you agree with that? God forbid, if anything happens, who is accountable and responsible for the life of 200 people? Are we ready to give our fate in the hands of algorithm? Are you ready? I'm sure we are not ready yet, right? This is the future. I don't want tomorrow you take a picture and say that Isha presented a slide which says that there is already a crash that happened with AI decision, but this could be a future. So this is the future if AI is taking a decision to crash land an aeroplane and then you ending up alive. And we are not ready yet to give our fate in the hands of algorithm. This is another scenario where a child is cheating in the classroom by doing the assessment assignment using AI, and the teacher figured out it is not his brilliant work, but it is an AI. Who is responsible for the misuse of AI? The child, the teacher, or the creator of AI? It's circling back again and again to human. You cannot pinpoint anywhere artificial intelligence. Of course, one size fit for all kind of an education system is vanished. We need AI to be a complementary system. It can optimize, it can do decision making, because one or two or three or four combinations that we can think, but AI can come up with thousands of combinations which human brains cannot think. So keep it as a technology which can understand the focal point of a child, or have a personalized training curriculum, a personalized health system. This is exactly what we need using AI or the technology. End of the day, the decision-making capability should be in the hands of human beings. All the slides could be a future disaster or future issues or incidents or accidents that could be reported. But this is not future, guys. This is present. How many of you know about the story of Adam Rain, a 16-year-old boy who committed suicide just because of the conversation with ChatGPT? AI is very honest, right? Every single prompt that you give, it gives an answer. And parents filed a case against OpenAI, the creator of AI, but they cannot find a justice because the boy felt AI as a buddy, as an advisor, as a guide, non-judgmental. AI is very non-judgmental for sure. And it even gave an idea what kind of a rope that you need to use to hang yourself, which can hold your weight. It also said that you wanted to die not because you are coward, it's because you are tired of being strong. I understand that you are unheard or unseen in the family, and this is not the world that you need to live in. You need to own death. Imagine that's the kind of messaging that's coming from ChatGPT. It says that death is something for you to be owned. This world is not for you. And it is saying that, you need to be brave because this is a bravery to commit suicide. That's a kind of a life, guys. So, however, all these things are data. It's an algorithm. It is all about orchestration of the data. It's about data talking to each other. It's about system talking to each other. And in our daily life as well, if AI flags someone as a misinterpretation, it flags something as wrong, and obviously you understand that it is not because AI intentionally doing any bias. AI doesn't have a religion, doesn't understand the geography, doesn't understand your intention. It understands what you give. So it reflects what exactly in the mind of a people, and that is what the outcome it's going to give as well. AI is honest. I'm sorry for my letters are not visible, but this is exactly the message that I want to say. AI is honest. It's not biased anywhere, anytime. So responsibility and accountability is what most important, and that is in the hands of AI as a creator. Now, why I say that? Look at this slide. This is the stages of AI growth. Consider AI as a baby and growing to be a teenage and independent state like you and me. So think about the first stage, which is 40 years back. It was a rule-based mapping, right? Just like a newborn baby, where if you do this, this will happen. If you do that, this will happen. It is exactly what you can do, what you cannot do, which has evolved to the stage 2, where it is more about machine learning. Trial and error. You start doing mistakes and you learn from the mistakes. And then moved into the stage 3, where it started learning. A for apple, B for boy. And then it goes into the teenage stage, and that is exactly where it started having domain expertise. Somebody liked football a lot, somebody liked art a lot. Same way AI started becoming domain mastery. And then comes into the higher stages of the teenage, and that is exactly where the technical capability and decision making came into the picture. We started cross questioning our parents, right? At one point in time, why mama, why it is like that, why it is not like this? The same thing, AI started reasoning, and again, questioning, reasoning, independent decisions was the next stage, or the current stage that we are now. Now the next stage is going to be artificial general intelligence, or it is already there in bits and pieces, that you will see it in a huge day-to-day activity from the morning that you wake up to the time that you sleep. It's going to take over every single aspect of your life, and also it start taking independent decision, which is the adulthood. So now I take independent decision, right? So same way AI is going to take independent decision. And what we worry, how about I created my friends and community, AI creates his own or her own friends and community. And what happens when emotions comes into the play? And what happens when I made an identity in this world, and if AI also make her or his own identity? And of course, already we have a citizenship in one of the GCC country with Sofia. That. So we worry about singularity. This is a stage where it creates its own replica. It creates its own people, its own ecosystem, and it deceives the creator. When AI deceives the creator, ladies and gentlemen, there is no go back to that. Only thing I can say, when you know you cannot beat them, join them. Now this is a mirror. AI is neither a villain nor a hero. It can only understand data. Often AI fail only because of the quality data. What kind of data that you feed to retrieve the outcome, the entire AI works on that aspect. Even if you go to the singularity stage, the responsibility comes from the intention of the person who creates that. AI never lie, but you do. Now, how many of you agree this fact? AI never lie, but I do, or you do. Now raise your hands, please. So, in the first slide I asked, is AI trustable? But I don't want to ask that anymore. Are we trustworthy to guide AI towards a human-centric solution with a co-evolution of artificial intelligence with the humanity? Are we trustable? Am I trustable? Not AI trustable. It's I trustable. That's what I want to understand. So it's no more about whether AI trustable. The people who create in this algorithm is feeding the data. Are we trustable? Are we ready to embrace the responsibility and accountability, governance and policies and everything in place to drive AI towards a human-centric solution? So that's what the question is. So that's the forum. Now you can decide, is AI trustable or am I trustable? Which question do you want to go with? Is AI trustable? Please raise your hands. You still have a question. Am I trustable to guide AI? Absolutely, but again, it's circling back to the people.
So it's a technology, and definitely it's work for all the global. And I'm just using some financial institutions. They depend on the AI technology for the algorithms and all the technology, but it's a responsibility of the humanity and who the control of the AI.
Absolutely. So that's how it is. So the richest man in the world is a man who owns the data, and the powerful man in the world is a man who controls AI. And it's all about not AI trustable, but am I, the people, trustable is the message that I wanted to pass. And thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. This is me in Crown and the other one me in VR. Thank you and love you.